sure you're putting yourself on mute now so that the speakers can be uninterrupted. Please keep your video on. Those of you who are not yet on video, please do let us have the chance to see you face to face, even though we can't meet face to face yet. Please ensure you've registered with your full name and not a nickname so that strangers can get to know you better. You'll see a chat function at the bottom as usual of the Zoom screen. Please use that to communicate with others while you're on mute. And also during the Q&A, you can use that to ask your questions. Please make sure you're attending the meeting throughout and don't keep leaving and entering. Would be great for attendance. And finally, of course, this session is going to be recorded for club promotions, can be used on social media. And by participating, you are giving your consent for that. Thank you. With that, I'll hand it over to President Dinesh.
Thank you. Thank you, Vineet, our new Sergeant at Arms. Thank you very much. It's my pleasure now to call the meeting to an order. Thank you. Honorary members, Pak Mohan, Bhagwan, you are always there, very first to enter the meeting. Past district governor, we don't have the past district governor. Past presidents, distinguished guests, prospective Rotarians, I welcome you all to our 30th weekly meeting of the Rotary year, and I wish you all once again very happy Lunar New Year, Kongsi Pachai. I'll especially thank President of Jurong Town, President Tekshing, welcome. And thank you, Jill Larsen, being our speaker today and accepting our invitation. Yen is contemporary artist and market consultant, director of JL Studios. We will wait to hear him later. May I now call upon past President Dr. Shahul Hamid to raise the toast to our great institution, Rotary International. PP Shahul, please.
PP Shahul, you're muted. We can't hear you. Oh,
Unmute.
no sound.
Can I be heard now?
Yeah, that's good.
Right. Fellow Rotarians, President Dinesh, guests, please join me in a toast to the great institution that we all belong to, Rotary International. To Rotary International.
Rotary International. Singapore.
Thank you, past President Shahul. So I'll just share my screen. Right, Kongsi Pachai. May I call upon Honorary Secretary Bridget for club's announcements, please.
Yes, President, I have one announcement on behalf of ISC Director Varun. The 8th weekly meeting is taking place tomorrow at the High Street Center. So it's a hybrid meeting. So with 16 people altogether who can attend, or members of the committee can attend physically from 7 to 8 p.m. The Zoom link will be shared by Varun later. So that's basically whoever cannot secure or does not want to secure a place physically can log in as usual. And as Varun told me, 8 members have already confirmed their seats, and there are 8 still available. So if you're interested in physically joining the ISC meeting tomorrow evening, please connect with Varun or Yaplip Ki, who is the host, directly. There will be a dinner, as usual, I think, as I heard often during COVID, served in bento boxes. Yeah, I think that's it from me as an announcement today.
Yeah, just to add 6 more seats left, 2 more taken up.
Oh, 6. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Honorary Secretary Bridget. birthdays. Oh, PP Sajjad, please join me in wishing him a very happy and joyful birthday on 22nd February. I think he's not here today. Wedding celebrants, best wishes to Hassan and Amrita Bulsa, Dr. Omkar and Shanti Shrestha, both on 19th February. Fellow Rotarians, we have a certificate of appreciation from District Governor Teo Kyan Sui of District 3310. I hope you all know about the unprecedented floods were in Malaysia, and our club was very, very fast, very responsible, fast to help them, and he issued a certificate of appreciation. And I think I would like to listen directly from DG Teo, who was supposed to be here today, but he has sent a video which I received just an hour before.
Dear President and members of the Rotary Club of Singapore, allow me to first of all wish all of you a very healthy, happy, and prosperous Lunar New Year. I'm singularly honored to be invited and given the opportunity to say a few words here at the club meeting. Despite the challenges and disruptions brought about by the COVID-19 pandemic, we as Rotarians have risen to the occasion and reach out to the people in need in our communities. The cooperation and mutual support between districts 3300 and 3310 for joint service projects have seen how close we are now connected with each other. Now, on this note, on behalf of District 3300, allow me to take this opportunity to express my heartfelt thanks and gratitude to RC Singapore for your kind and generous support for our disaster relief efforts. When the worst flood hit in 50 years, hit Pahang, especially in the area around the below. More than 3,000 families were seriously affected, and tens of thousands of flood victims were evacuated. Even helicopters were deployed to send immediate relief aids to remote places where they were cut off totally from land communication. I'm thankful to have such good neighbors around us who come forward and ask, how can we help you when we are in need? Honestly, I'm so touched by your kind act, DRFC PP Dr. Shahu. And this is one of the moments that I see why we are the worthy Rotarians. Once again, thank you, my friends, and have a wonderful club meeting. Stay safe, and God bless you all. Thank you.
Well, I would like to thank all the contributors who donated funds, and very special thanks to Dr. Shahul and ISC Chair Varun for responding to this calamity in our neighborhood in Malaysia. Thank you all. So, well, 23rd February, our next week's meeting will be on Tuesday. And this is going to be a hybrid meeting. That means a physical meeting with maximum 50 persons at the Pavilion Conrad Centennial Hotel. I think 5 seats are still available. We'll close the registration tomorrow. Zoom meeting is available unlimited with the spouse and guests. So we'll see you all next week at Conrad. Induction of new members. Before I go for induction, I can see I would like to welcome First Lady Rekha and other spouses, if all of them are there. Thank you for coming. Induction goes on, and Once again, I would like to thank all the NCND members and especially past President Sajjad, our classification chair, and all past presidents for giving Rotary information, being mentors, and week after week. Thank you so much. And I'm very pleased, very happy to tell you to welcome 3 new members who will become Rotarians: Sachin Kagiwa, Sean Liaz, and Sri Hari. And now I would like to call upon Vice President Membership, Suresh Kirti, to introduce new members. Suresh, VP Suresh, please.
Thank you. Had some.
Now you're muted, Suresh. Suresh, you need to unmute yourself, please.
Oh, sorry.
No worries.
Okay, I think my internet just went off. Anyway, it's back.
But now you're here. Perfect.
Yeah, I'm back. Thank you. It's my pleasure to introduce 3 new candidates for induction today. They are Mr. Sean Liaz, Sachin Kagiwa, and Mr. Srihari Shikokolo. I'll start with Sean Liaz. He's a South African, 60 years old, the CEO of a South African company, Smolan, DKSH for Asia Pacific. It deals in diversified retail services and executions to large FMCGs, pharmas, and CPG companies. He's an MBA from Oxford Brookes and a LPD or a leadership development program from Harvard University. His classification is retail, field sales, and marketing. I introduce Sean for you. The next person is Sachin Kagiwa. He's an Indian, 40 years old, engineer from India. He's the director of packages solutions and IT consultancy in Capgemini, Singapore. He has worked with Capgemini in UK, USA, Philippines, and recently come from US to Singapore. He works now from out of India, the last visit. His wife also works with him in Capgemini as a senior manager. He happens to be a very good friend of our ex-Rotarian, Rupesh Agarwal. I presume he's the one who's influenced him to join us. He helps his family business in seed productions in India. His classification is IT consultancy, ERP. Srihari Shikokolo and Swarna. He's a Singaporean PR, age 47, CEO of a fintech company, eRemit. Worked over 20 years in Singapore banking sector with Citibank, ABN AMRO, CIMB, Hong Leong. Has an MBA from Xavier Institute and has the leadership program from INSEAD. His classification is financial service fintech. Thank you. I offer you the 3 candidates.
Thank you, Suresh. I'll stop sharing. Fellow Rotarians, it is my privilege and pleasure today to welcome into our membership Mr. Sachin Kagiwa, Mr. Sean Liaz, and Mr. Srihari Shikokolo. The proposals have been reviewed in accordance with the Constitution and bylaws of the club. Mr. Sachin Kagiwa and Srihari were proposed by Vice President Suresh Kirti and Sean Liaz by Rotarian Ranga Somanathan. Sachin, Sean, and Sri, as you would like to be known in the club, we now proceed to admit you into membership in the Rotary Club of Singapore. You have been chosen for membership in this club because your fellow members believe in you to be a leader in your field and have qualities which will allow you to carry out the work of a Rotarian. In electing you to membership, we are doing more than taking you into our fellowship. We are making you a trustee with us of Rotary's ideals. Knowing you to be a Rotarian, the world will henceforth judge Rotary by your conduct. Membership in Rotary is an honor and privilege, and every privilege has its corresponding obligations. You have agreed to accept the responsibilities attached to your membership in this club and to obey this club's constitution and bylaws. One of the special obligations of the membership is regular attendance at the weekly meeting and the monthly service committee meetings and participation in club projects and activities. It is the primary method of fulfilling the principles of service and fellowship, and also a way by which you represent your vocation. Sachin, Sean, and Shri, the ideal of Rotary is service. Our principal motto is service above self. And the object of this club and all Rotary clubs is to encourage and foster this ideal as a basis of worthy enterprise. You are to share in this effort. For the rest of the Rotary year, Sachin, I would be pleased if you would serve on the Youth Service Committee. Your mentor is past President Mark Wong. Sean, you please serve on International Service Committee, and your mentor is past President Palita. Shri, you be on Vocational Service Committee, and your mentor is past President J.K. Ong. You may join more than one service committee if you like. Your mentors will guide your assimilation through the service committee. Your classifications are Sachin Kagiwa, IT Consulting ERP, Srihari Shikakolu, Financial Services FinTech, and Sean Liaz, Retail, Field Sales and Marketing. As you represent a classification, it is your duty to tell us about your vocation and to bring the ideals of Rotary to your business and profession. And now, by the power in me as a president of Rotary Club of Singapore, I declare you to be an active member of this Rotary Club. I'll present you with the Rotary emblem and a packet of Rotary literature in a get-together very soon with all the new members in current batch of 8. I especially commend to your attention the object of Rotary and the 4-way test, which form the criteria for Rotarians in their daily lives. I also suggest that as you travel, you avail yourself of the extraordinary opportunity you will have to attend Rotary meetings and meet Rotarians throughout the world. This is another extremely rewarding benefit of your membership. Fellow Rotarians, I'm happy to present to you Rotarian Sachin, Sean, and Sri. Our newest members, let us welcome Sachin, Sean, and Sri in the oldest Rotary Club in the District 3310, the Rotary Club of Singapore. Please unmute and give a round of applause to welcome them in the Rotary family.
Welcome, Sachin. Sean, and welcome.
Welcome to Rotary. We all look forward to enrichment our lives as well as that of yours by your association in this, the world's oldest, largest, and finest service organization. I would now like to invite Rotarian Sachin to briefly address the club. Rotarian Sachin, please.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Thank you, President Dinesh and Mr. Suresh, for the warm welcome and for my introduction. As Mr. Suresh has already done my brief introduction, from a professional front perspective, I work with Capgemini Singapore for the past 18 years, in Singapore for past 5 years, managing their package-based solution business for Southeast Asia. On the family front, my wife, Neha, like Mr. Dinesh Suresh has already mentioned, she is in IT consulting. She's also pursuing her EMBA from Singapore. So generally her evenings are very busy. And that is one of the reasons she could not join today with me for the induction. We are also blessed with two great kids, Anai, who is 11 years old, and Avi, who is 6 years. Both are studying in Singapore. Through Rotary Club, I'm looking forward to do my bit for society in a very structured manner, and really looking forward to work with every one of you, meet every one of you in person, and looking for the exciting journey with Rotary Club. Thank you again, everyone.
Thank you, Sachin. May I call Rotarian Sean, please?
Thank you, President Dinesh. Distinguished Rotarians, it really is a privilege to join Rotary Club of Singapore. For many, many years, I've admired Rotary, selfless acts of service, the fellowship that you enjoy. It truly is a real pleasure and honor for us as a family to be associated with Rotary and in Singapore, the Rotary Club of Singapore. I have my wife Ilza on my right-hand side over here. We've been married for 26 years. We have an anniversary coming up shortly, so I guess we'd have the privilege of hearing some warm wishes. We've been blessed with two beautiful children. Our daughter's soon to be 19. She's in the UK studying at University of Bath psychology. And we have a 15-year-old son, Jed, who goes to Stanford American, who's almost as tall as I am. I have to say, the short period that I've been exposed to many Rotarians, from Rotarian Suresh and Pulita, Ranga, Rotarian Shajad and Run, just been absolutely fantastic. The warmth that has come through, the care. Rotarian Suresh is, I think, a market extraordinaire. Yes. His ability to connect, his breadth of knowledge across industries is almost second to none. And so it's just a privilege that I have the ability to be able to say that I'm associated with the Rotary Club of Singapore. Thank you very much for this honor.
Thank you, Sean. And
thank you. Welcome.
I warmly welcome your spouse. I'm sorry I couldn't get her name right. Warm welcome to Rotary family. And now I would like to call upon Srihari.
Good evening, everyone. President Dinesh, Suresh, and Jay Kyang, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. It's really a pleasure and honor and privilege for me to be part of this prestigious club. So far, though it is a short interaction with all the Rotarians, it's very joyful. And like how Rotarian Sean has mentioned, right? I always, whenever I meet Suresh, I ask one question: how do you get this energy from? Hopefully, we'll be able to get that kind of energy. Personally, I think we are blessed with 3 kids. My wife Swarna is beside me, and she's also part of the Jolly Walkers group. So she gets to interact with a lot of Rotarians, many Rotarians. I think hopefully we'll be able to learn together from all Rotarians and contribute to the community and society. And it is really indeed an honor, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Srihari, and thank you, Swarna. Thank you. I've just so we have 3 new Rotarians, and now this week we wanted to make it shorter, so the Kaifra will resume next week, not this week. So now it's the speaker time, and we have today Jan Larsen, contemporary artist, primary and secondary art market consultant, and is director of JLA Studio. Topic: Singapore seat of market leadership, fine art. And I would now call upon Rotarian Ranga Somanathan to introduce our speaker. Rotarian Ranga, please.
Good evening, everyone. One of the most operationally interesting, entertaining, and exciting voices in contemporary art, American neo-pop artist Jan Larsen's body of multimedia work reflects the tenor of our times. Born in the American Midwest, Jan began his schooling as part of the cultural integration program at a predominantly African-American school in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and proceeded through the American public school system to earn his undergraduate degree from Harvard and master's degree in business management from Oxford University in England. Launching his solo career in 2015 in New York, Jan's work speaks to his American experience, responds to world events, and reflects on the quality of our contemporary moments worldwide. In 2019, he began setting up his new home base and production studios for Asia, which he calls Robertson House in River Valley, Singapore. And he's delighted to present and be joined in his work by collectors, artists, and for-profit charitable and governmental institutions in US, Europe, Africa, and Asia. Over to Jan as he speaks on Singapore, a seat of market-leading fine art. Present to you, Jan Larsen.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can, Jan.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Brigitte. Welcome. I'm very pleased to meet you. I'm going to take this earphone out because I'm getting a little bit of feedback from that. My name is Jan Larsen, and I'm very pleased to welcome you to my home and production studios in beautiful River Valley, Singapore. And thank you, President Dinesh and fellow Rotarian and Secretary. Share with you and what.
You're breaking off a bit.
July of 2018. Okay, I'm hearing that I need to speak a little bit more slowly.
Yeah, the line is not that.
So is where I was preparation for the art, not only as an
Jan, your line is very choppy. We're not able to hear you clearly.
So I approach.
It's an issue with the connectivity, I think.
You started off
Okay.
quite
Audio is cutting off.
quite good, but
You started off well, but it's cutting off. So maybe.
Okay. Sorry about that. Yes.
Now it looks sounds good now. At that place.
Okay.
Are we setting up for dinner?
So this, welcome to Robertson.
Mom is back already.
Hello.
Go ahead, please.
Are we all right?
yeah.
Okay. Okay. So welcome to Robertson House. This is a historic double-wide shop house in beautiful River Valley in Singapore. And this is where I compose my work and show my work in exhibition, also in conjunction with other artists and organizations, and also where my young family is getting started. So it's a pleasure to welcome you.
Unfortunately, when you walk about, the line's getting cut off. I think where you were a couple of minutes before was, we could hear you.
Walking tour of that.
Yeah, now you're stopping again. Actually, yeah, we wanted to test it out before, but then we didn't. Can you hear us, Jan? Yeah, here the message is the bandwidth, the bandwidth is very low in the press room. So maybe we just sort of skip the tour and you just sort of, is he still on? Let me just see, maybe he needs to get on again, off and on again.
In the meantime, till Jan comes on, all I can give a bit of a brief of his art gallery, and he was actually one of the persons who helped us raise the funds that we raised for 1 Million Dreams, over $60,000 in December. Jan was one of the guys who helped us move the paintings, one to the place and then back to his art house. And he also donated a few paintings which were bidded for, and we got money out of it. So we are really, really thankful to Jan for all his help and his efforts to basically connect us with various artists who donated us paintings, and and allowing us to visit his beautiful gallery.
I'm just texting him.
Yes, Louisa, it is.
Hmm?
No, Louisa asked a question, is it open to public? So the gallery is open to public, yes. You can very well visit. If your bid would have been successful, then you would have already visited the gallery by now.
I've texted him to log on again with his own account and not in the gallery. So let's see. So we wanted to test a little bit of more adventurous technology, but didn't quite work. Let's see.
Yes, Louisa, Jan, he will come back and then he will share more details on his gallery and all the links.
They have some Wi-Fi issues.
Oh, they have Wi-Fi issues. Okay.
That's what he just said to me. So let's be patient for a bit, and hopefully either they resolve this or he decides just to share his stories, because the idea was really to kind of show a bit how he creates his art and what the gallery looks like, and then also sort of link over to his story, because as far as I understand, Jan only made Singapore his home about 3 years ago. So so we talked a bit about Singapore and the development of the arts. I mean, Uttam came to mind when we chatted, because I mean, I of course know quite a bit about the history of SRT and what else sort of developed. So Singapore has changed quite a bit in regard to the arts in the last sort of 10 years. And this is actually why Jan, so he's now going to his personal account. Okay, fair enough. Let's see. So we see him soon again, I think, I hope. Yeah, something different, Louisa. I think next time the learning is do a test run, note to self, do a test run, not only from, from our account, but I think apparently from their account. So let's see, he's not in the waiting room yet.
Yeah, I don't know if he can really take us through the art gallery again, but it's a beautiful gallery, and I must say that we all should visit. President Dinesh has visited that also.
All right, Jan, are you in the room again? Wait. I think I see the press room thing, but I don't. Jan, can you hear me?
Dr. Shahul has a suggestion.
What's the suggestion?
Visit for us.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I did not read this thing. You know what? I'm a lousy singer. Forget it. I mean, honestly, I always had to stand at the last row in school because I was always kind of with a very low voice. Forget that. That's not a solution.
Let us judge. Let us be the judge, Bridget.
No. Maybe after a glass of gin tonic or something, I mean, I did a lot of karaoke in my old in my previous life in Asia, so that works, I think Jan should be here now.
Yes, he's in.
Hi, hello everybody.
So
Okay, sorry about that. We have Wi-Fi throughout the space, and apparently we need some new cables to be run, but the crews are off for the holiday. So sorry for the delay there, and welcome again. I look at art notion, but also as business. So I build my locations as places to engage with art, and my work tends to be a reflection on society and how society works. This location is a terrific environment to host folks and to engage with that kind of a discussion. And to answer your question, Brigitte, about why Singapore and Singapore has to offer, I've been impressed since I've arrived here from New York with the Singaporean society's degree of interest in engaging with the arts as a means of contributing to what I would call social progress, as a way of reflecting on how a society moves forward. And Singapore has been such a fantastic example of social progress that it's been very exciting, and just operationally, try to cross my legs, operationally, it's been refreshing compared to working in New York in terms of team building for production, and also in terms of engagement with the work as a reflection on society. Here we've got 3 enterprises basically running. There's the production house and the exhibition space called Robertson House. And then there's, of course, my practice, which is my own work, paintings and prints and sculptures. And then I also have an auction practice, which I've started up in conjunction with a giving back initiative that called JLA. And that was how I connected with President Dinesh and the Rotary to another auction that I was participating in the end. And we've had an auction here since then, and getting ready for our second auction. We're delighted to be hosting and showcasing the work of a special needs kid named Janine Tam, who is a beneficiary of a group called Extraordinary People, which provides support to special needs kids and their families. And she is part of their art therapy program. And so what we're doing here right now, you can see behind me, for example, is we're showing our work in tandem, my work below, her work above. And in conjunction with that, the auction aspect of the practice is running a benefit fundraiser, much like what you all hosted at Maduro that I was pleased to be a part of last month. So this, from a business perspective, this is good for me, getting to know the local community, and as a way to give back to the local community and to become a part of the local community that I and my young family are growing in now. And it's also a good way for me to get to know people and for people to get to know me a little bit. So those are the 3 businesses that are running out of here. We're very pleased to be working in this auction in conjunction with the Park Royal Hotel on Beach Road and the Pan Pacific Hotel Group. And we've mounted a parallel exhibition in the lobby and in an exhibition space at the Park Royal on Beach Road, which you can go and see right now if you're nearby. A few pieces in the lobby and then an installation behind. And all of that is geared to supporting, promoting this institution for public character and registered Singaporean charity, Extraordinary People. And specifically what we're working to do is to set up a fund to help support the independence of this young lady as she matures, and integrating her, we're back here, and integrating her art therapy work into that. So it's a great way for me to meet people and for me to become a part of the community and give back to the community in a real way, and helping to set up a fund for this young lady, and to meet her family and to be supportive of her family. And so that's been a really terrific experience. So in the meantime, I'm producing my work. I do a show every month or a month and a half, and I'm showing here and in New York and in London. But right now we've got a brand new baby. So I'm spending a lot of my spare time helping out my wife and working to bring her up. So that's really an introduction to me. Sorry, it's not the walking tour that I wanted it to be, but I do think that in Singapore, and the reason that I'm here is because I see it as very fertile ground for the engagement of the arts, private enterprise, charitable work, government, even statecraft. Art is about, one of the things that art is about is what can be. And it's a terrific way for people to come together under a very large tent and exchange ideas and bring value to lives. So that's, it's exciting to be here.
Can I just interrupt, Jan, just for a quick sort of like referring to the tour, which did not happen for reasons, technical reasons as a main reason. But I think we can tour obviously individually. We can come to Robertson House and have our own look, because that was one of the questions from the members. And the other question was, I mean, we might even sort of like take this offline and have a physical meeting with a number of people who are allowed, and then come with a couple of Rotarians to you.
Certainly, it would be a pleasure to host you. And if folks who want to take a look before they come, or just want to take a look remotely in our new normal, they can go to robertsonhouse.sg and find a walk tour there, which is a Google Maps tour, so you can actually walk through the whole space yourself.
That was another question. Excellent.
Fine. I think Jan has a place where we can hold the meeting, but we are not allowed to.
It was just
some time. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe the next hybrid meeting we can do from Jan's office, right? Jan, this is Varun.
Hi, Varun.
Maybe my next ISC meeting, I can probably host it at your, and I can bring 8 people who are keen on art.
Sounds terrific, and I'll get my crews to run some new cable.
Yeah.
Sounds terrific. I'd be delighted to chat about that.
Cool. I think you wanted to move on, right? To kind of art appreciation and a few other things you wanted to chat.
Okay. In terms of art appreciation, I can speak about that in the broadest terms, because art appreciation is a very personal thing. You can collect work because you are energized by the work and you like the aesthetic. You like the feeling that it gives you, the way it energizes your spaces. or you can collect work as an investment because you like the trajectory of the artist's career whom you're patronizing. In terms of the nuts and bolts of the nitty gritty of buying and collecting art, you can do that one of three ways. Just giving you a little impromptu walking tour here. You can buy directly from the artist. You can buy from a gallery representing the artist, or you can buy on the secondary market through an auction house. In terms of approaches to that, I would take a very creative approach and be bold and make offers to get the work that you like at the budget that works for you. Artists are most interested in having the work move into good collections and loving homes, as it were, and also to make room for new work. And in the same fashion, you should feel free to be creative and assertive in your negotiations with gallerists. There are list prices that you'll see, but those list prices are starting points and part of a discussion, particularly if you like the work. You should take it on yourself to get it at the terms that work for you. In terms of working with auction houses, I have accounts with all the major auction houses, the Christie's and Sotheby's and Phillips of the world, and that's really very kind of codified, and it comes down to what the market will bear. So those are the three ways that you can buy, and the two ways that you can appreciate art. People say that they don't know art, they don't know how to look at art, but you really do. You just have to pay attention to the way it makes you feel. And in the case of a business approach or an investment approach, you do it the same way you look at any other investment. So those are my those two.
And could you tell us about the art scene in Singapore and how Singapore has become a market leader in fine art?
I'm still getting to know the market in Singapore. I know that there are clusters of galleries in Gilman Barracks, and you've got some terrific art events going on, like Singapore Art Week just finished. You used to have something called Art Stage, which was set up by one of the organizers of the Frieze Art Show in Switzerland, I think, and that ran for a few years and then sort of summarily stopped in 2019. My observation for Singapore being a platform for market leading art is more an observation on Singapore's special strategic position in between East and West societies and its history as a trading post and a vibrant marketplace. To me, the feeling that I get here is very entrepreneurial, very blue sky. It feels to me like the United States used to feel after the Second World War, when the markets were burgeoning and there was a lot of opportunity for a lot of a diverse set of people. And there was a kind of blue sky optimism. So that's the platform that I feel here for fine art as well as the other industries that are here. And fine art as a way of reflecting on the world currents that are tumultuous and shifting in some ways now. Reflecting on what are the virtues and benefits of the Western approach? What are the virtues and benefits of the Eastern approach to our societies, to organizing our societies and articulating ourselves through our culture and through our markets? So to me, it's very, very exciting, fertile ground, not just for my work, but for every participating artist and organization that's interested in collaborating with creative enterprise. It's a terrific and very exciting environment in my estimation.
One question, because Singapore, of course, is a very kind of small place. There's a very, very sort of developing art scene for a while already in Vietnam and in Indonesia. So are there any overlaps or whatever? Because the galleries are here, and probably the clients or the art lovers or art admirers who can afford some kind of these oeuvres, they're probably sitting here. I don't know, do you have any dealings with that particular?
I don't. I haven't been involved much in the region. I know that there's a vibrant art scene in Southeast Asia, in other countries outside Singapore. And I also know that the travel restrictions have inhibited the market, the ability for collectors to travel to these places, and for artists to travel, and for shows to be produced. So for the last year or so, that's been kind of shutting down the exchange. But I know it's very vibrant, and there's a lot of interest in work from those areas now.
Great. I think there is, let me just see. I think there's one question from one of our members, because you mentioned that particular child of a special need that you're supporting. Do you see any other sort of possibilities to collaborate or support children in schools? I mean, general, because I mean, the art is a different way of expressing oneself and learning. So that was one of the members actually of our YSC committee asking.
Yes, certainly. I'm very interested in exploring ways that we can work together for the benefit of members of the community here. I'm particularly interested in local work, social. In this case, our previous auction was to benefit the Samaritans of Singapore, whose goal is to normalize the conversation around mental health in Singapore and suicide prevention. But I'm also interested in, and have been chatting with folks in the park system about environmental issues, and as well as with schools. So I'm certainly open to discussing potential collaborations in ways that we can be helpful in that way.
Right. There's another question from our Rotarian Vineet. Vineet, do you want to ask yourself?
Okay. I was just wondering if there's a science to how you display art, in terms of lighting or stuff like use of wall space. I noticed you had stuff on different levels on your walls, using high spaces and low spaces, etc. So is there a science to that, or is that just something which is an art in itself?
It's an art, really. It's really a feeling. And some, there's a kind of cliche of people setting up a work of art and then stepping back and looking at it, and then walking right back up and making a tiny adjustment, and then stepping back and looking at it. And that's really the way you find your way to the balance in composition. So sometimes if we look out here, I can show you I've stacked some work. We have these works by Janine over here, and underneath these lights, these can lights, and then the large work for me in the middle. And then I have the smaller works kind of posted up on the side, complementing the architecture. There's no one way to do it. I wouldn't say there's a science. I would say it's more of of a process of trying out the colors and shapes and seeing how they make you feel, how they affect your energy, and then adjusting so that you optimize the presentation.
I think adding to that, you also sort of said you will be sharing about how do you go about collecting, you know, because when I look, I mean, I'm not an art sort of, not art knowledgeable. When I look at what you just showed, it all seems to be, so you combine different styles, right?
All of this is abstract expressionist painting work. So, for example, this work from Janine is spattered paint onto wood board. And this work for me is oil applied with my fingers. And all of the works that are installed in the space now are paintings in either oil or acrylic. These fall into the category of abstract expressionism. Typically, though, my installations are a melange of paintings and prints and sculptures. Like, for example, this gigantic sculpture here is a seesaw, which for me is a critique of the last American administration's trade war on imported steel. And the importance of being able to have a productive relationship with someone who's on the opposite side of an issue from yourself. So typically, I've got that kind of fun mixture. If you look down here, you can see there are digital prints. This is from my advertising appropriation series, and above that's an ad man. And those are prints onto metal. Typically, I like to mix it up. I like it to be fun. Sorry, Brigitte, what did you say?
No, I was just completely overwhelmed by my past because you had the Marlboro Man on the wall. You know.
And if you look closely, you'll see that's actually me set into a Marlboro ad. That guy right there. It's kind of a tribute to Cindy Sherman's work, who she sets herself into movie stills. And for me, in this series, I'm reflecting on the role that marketing media plays in our senses of ourselves and how we fit into society. And this is also kind of homage to an American icon and reflecting on my own American heritage. So yeah, I hope
awesome.
They're fun. I want them to be fun.
Jan, I saw one of the artwork which had Cassius Clay, Muhammad Ali in one of the pictures, or was it a boxing picture right at the entrance? Do you still have it?
It's here. It's not in that spot. We've got a painting in that spot now.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
That was an appropriation of a very famous photograph of Muhammad Ali after a fight with Sonny Liston in May of 1962 in Lewiston, Maine, I think. And he beat him in the first round. So all of their gear, everything they're wearing is pristine. And it's the greatest single portrait of Muhammad Ali in all of creation. And I appropriated that at the moment of the 2018 midterm elections in the United States, when the Democrats won back the House of Representatives, so that the previous incumbent of the executive office didn't have a two-house and three-branch of government majority. So that was kind of a triumphal moment. That's the story behind that. It's a kind of, I call it American moment, the rebalancing of power. But yeah, we have that one under plexiglass and on metal. I also have that printed onto aluminum.
Great. When you sort of walked around, there's a chap sitting at the table. Who is this?
It's Safira. She's not a cat, but she is a.
Oh, sorry. I thought that this is part of the installation. Sorry for asking, but I was quite curious.
Yeah, Sophia and Tom are in my film crew and do all of our videos and film compositions. So we collaborate on those. And you can see those on my website and on YouTube. And you'll see more of those going forward if you're tuned into this practice.
Excellent. Good to see you, Safira.
Thank you. Good to see you too.
Thank you, Jan. Is there any last question or? Okay, so I think I'll.
I'm sorry, it wasn't the whole show. We can get into that later.
Cool.
Yeah. All right, I think I'll call upon Rotarian Uttam Kriplani to give word of thanks.
Thank you, President. Fellow Rotarians, ladies and gentlemen. Many years ago, I was waiting in the lobby of a hotel in Medan, Indonesia. And across the lobby, in one of the shops, there was a painting of an old lady who I felt was looking at me and almost speaking to me, imploring me to take her home. To cut a long story short, I did buy the painting, and I almost feel that this old lady still talks to me, saying thank you for giving me the opportunity of being part of your home. That's, to me, unless the painting touches me in some way, it remains in the gallery or shop where originally it may have been. Jan Larsen's talk today was fascinating in that, apart from telling us a little bit more about his art and his collections, the fact that he was able to show us around his gallery certainly brings out the joy of paintings, installations, sculptures, etc. For me, a signature of a famous artist on a painting does not always attract me. It must be something that says, or it hits the spot and looks nice on the wall for both me and my wife. I often wonder what our children will do with the paintings in our house after we are gone. They don't like some of the paintings. To them, perhaps Jan Larsen and his colleagues in the art world will be the people to go to get rid of my paintings after I'm buried and cremated. One of the fascinating things that came out of the talk today was also that he is so involved in the charity and social work sector. And I'm sure as Rotary, we would be very happy to work with him on some future programs. May I thank Jan Larsen for his illuminating speech. In spite of my personal comments on paintings, we have learned a lot from his interpretations of art. On behalf of all of us, may I extend a wonderful, colorful, and artistic vote of thanks. Thank you very much, Jan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can you please unmute and give a round of applause?
Unmute, thank you.
Very well done. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you, Jan Larsen. All right. So next week, I'm very excited to meet everyone physically in Centennial Conrad Hotel for our first physical meeting. We have very good response. Still 3 or 4 seats are available. And we will open this on Zoom. It's a hybrid meeting. So there is no limit. Please, those who are not attending physically, you can be on Zoom together with your guests spouses. And this meeting we are connecting is a joint effort of all the Singapore Rotary clubs, and they'll be connected on Zoom. We'll have the guest of honor, Mr. Zainul Abedin Rashid, and our DG, district governor, will also be present with us. And I hope we will have very good celebration of 160th year of Rotary together. And thank you once again being present here. And this time, I think we are just trying. We have some feedback that the meetings could finish with earlier. So today we will not have any fellowship after the meeting. We'll close, and we will try to open our meeting a bit earlier. We open at 6:45. We will try to do it a bit earlier so that we can close the meeting around 8:10, and those who have dinner after the meeting, and that you can have the dinner in time. So we'll try to do this. And if you have any other suggestion, please send a message to me, call me. We'll always try to make it better, more conducive to all our members. And with that, I think I would like to thank everyone. Thank you for being present in this meeting and your overwhelming response week after week. I think it's going very well. I would like to close the meeting today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dinesh.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Nice
Thank
meeting
you.
you.
Thank you.